Guys, I've been a big fan of Olight for over 10 years. In fact, my everyday EDC has been an Olight ever since my first review. And so guys, we've done a lot of testing with these lights over the years. We've done a lot of torture tests, and these lights just hold up.
First of all, these levers break all the time on me. I've had these levers break 3 times. On the Valkyrie Pro, which is my preferred of the Olight line, those activation switches push inward. And I do prefer those, but I've had those break twice. So
this one also has a pressure switch that utilizes that magnetic recharging base, so you'll be able to mount this on top of a pick rail for an AR or something like that, and that is also how it charges.
Those 2 contacts right there are live, and they are directly connected to that battery. And if it wasn't a protected cell, it would probably short out and explode. And if you guys haven't heard, someone did die from using a non-standard battery in an Olight flashlight.
No issues with the light dimming. I left it on. It did not like overheat or get too hot to manage. So
many of their lights get too hot and heat up. So I'm done with them. Their stupid customer service annoys me. Their dumb marketing annoys me. Their stupid flash sales annoy me.
I believe that's an Olight. I hate it. Now, the funny thing about Olight is I believe for their performance isn't bad. They're just likely to explode in your face.
A Chinese product undercutting its competition while also trying to push innovation. Sounds familiar, right? East Asian-made products have been in the firearms industry for a while now. By the way, let's not forget who originally made gunpowder in the first place. Even though Chinese products have a stable footing in our weapon accessories market, Olight gets a lot of flack. And I mean a lot. Anytime someone makes a Facebook or Instagram post, the comments can be equal parts both defending their light purchase valiantly or making jokes that the poster had bought a legal hand grenade. YouTubers can be almost as polarized, with either scathing rant videos about breakage or love songs about their light withstanding wear and abuse. As one of those schmuck YouTubers, I wanted to take a look at a new Olight product that just came out, the PL-3S, since it had no footprint on YouTube. This video will go over my experience researching the device, as well as how my 200 round testing went. During the somewhat lackluster Black Friday sales this year, I saw the PL-3S pop up on my Amazon feed. With a listed release date of October 31st and no reviews at all, I was happy to be one of the first buyers for the light, and promptly bought it for the $60 sales price. I then went to Olight's website to see if there was any additional info for my research, where I found that they didn't even bother putting it on there. I'm serious. Searching the light brings up no matches, only bringing up the other 5 models related to it. Perplexed, I clicked on the PL3 product page to compare it to the S's specs, and went down the rabbit hole. The PL-3S boasts a 1000 lumen rating, with a 200 meter throw, while the original has a much brighter 1300 lumen rating with a longer 225 meter throw. It's not like you're getting a staggering deal with the cut either, as the PL3 was only $4 more during the same period. And both Amazon pages are almost exactly identical, with the same pictures and description, only slightly modified to add the S to the pictures and change in outputs. So an obvious no-brainer, right? Just buy the PL3 for basically no upcharge and enjoy the brighter light. It has the same dimensions, the same weight, takes the same batteries, the light face is identical, and theoretically would have the same holster compatibility with identical housings. Finally, I was able to find the main difference buried in both Amazon pages, something not even mentioned on Olight's own website for the PL3. The output tuning is completely different. While the PL3 does have a more impressive high output in both lumens and distance, the S has a much longer runtime in that high mode, with 7 continuous minutes compared to 1.5. It also stays in that secondary output of 450 lumens much longer. In all, the S has a longer stated runtime of 137 minutes, a little more than 10 minutes after the older model dies. My issue with all this is why in the hell doesn't Olight do a better job in conveying this info? It's isolated to just one line on Amazon. If I was just casually shopping and cross-shopped these 2 lights using only the main points, the PL3 would be picked due to the higher performance. And that's a shame too, since I think the newer S is much more useful as a weapon light. Having both a longer high output and runtime should handily beat higher numbers on paper any day. I don't really see the benefit of picking the PL3, since if you're in a situation where your compact weapon light has to see that further 25 meters, it would be a huge inconvenience for it to cut brightness so quickly. Once the PL-3S was delivered, I put it onto my Glock 19 and burned through 200 rounds in a couple range trips. I wouldn't pay too much attention with my reload drills, I just started practicing. Gotta start somewhere, I guess. As far as my time using the light, I'm happy to report that no news is good news. The light never stuttered or had issues. Nothing too surprising since the PL3 is known to be a light to withstand abuse. It's good to see anyway. As for light coverage, there is nothing to complain about compared to much more expensive lights like my Surefire X300 Ultra. The Olight has a slightly more pronounced hotspot in the center with less light bleed for the surrounding area. I do like the Surefire's area coverage more if there was a definitive choice, but I wouldn't call the Olight's coverage lacking in any way. One point I'm still on the fence about is using a push button or toggle switch. I find the Olight button to be easier to press with my trigger finger, although I like having the Surefire toggle when using my support hand to engage it. With either system, actually practicing with it is probably the best solution in the end. Since it doesn't come with magnetic charging, you can get this light for a great price. If you're set on having that increased performance of the PL3, I would recommend you to just step up to the more powerful PL3R. But I'm not even sure why there's so many options for one compact flashlight anyway. Slimming down the line could probably help. And speaking directly to Olight, take the PL-3S seriously. I think you have a real winner on your hands. Thanks for making it this far into the video. Hopefully, I didn't make any enemies. Let me know in the comments your experiences with Olight, whether good or bad. And if you liked the video, please consider subscribing. I have more content related to both weapon lights and IR lasers in the pipeline. Stay tuned.